so you don't have to. Shop the Co-op Farm and Garden in Sequim for all your whoozy-whatsy needs.
Weather forecast, sunny the rest of the day today, mid-40s to low 50s for the high. Clear tonight, lows in the low 30s. Sunny tomorrow, highs near 50, and then partly cloudy by Friday night with lows in the mid-30s to lower 40s. A little bit of cloudiness and rain at times through Saturday with your highs going to be in the mid-50s. Sunday, cloudy and rain as well, highs near 50. Back to partly sunny skies Monday and about 50 for the high. Tuesday, clouding up again with some rain and highs in the low 50s. And Wednesday next week, looking cloudy with a chance of rain and a high near 50. Lows at night through the period going to be near 40 degrees. Currently out there right now, we have mostly clear skies, 44 in Port Townsend, 50 now out west at Forks, Sequim at 47, also 47 in downtown Port Angeles, and out at the airport checking in at 46.
The following is a paid advertisement.
This is Church Watch, brought to you by PeninsulaRevival.org. Remember the name Hal Lindsey? Well, it was back in the 1970s that Mr. Lindsey released his earth-shaking book, The Late Great Planet Earth, that brought biblical prophecy front and center to the attention of literally millions of people back in that era. It was the best-selling nonfiction book of the 1970s, selling more than 28 million copies by 1990 and an estimated 35 million by 1999, translated into more than 50 languages, and finding its way onto the big screen with a movie narrated by Orson Welles, Mr. War of the Worlds himself. Hal Lindsey became the most widely read interpreter of biblical prophecy in history. And obviously, the man touched upon a very neglected public nerve, crossing over the divide between the religious and secular audiences, and here's where it starts getting a little messy. No, not with the secular crowd. They just like a good read, and the thought that just possibly what the Bible predicts should actually be taken seriously. But it was the religious crowd, various parts of which began to get all bent out of shape because Mr. Lindsey, oh God forbid, had the gall to insinuate that biblical prophecy actually applies to us today. Oh, shame on the man. I mean, to these people, hey, the boy has lost his cuckoo. Yeah, the Bible's a great book, amen, amen, but let's not get too serious about it. So the name-calling started. Oh, that Lindsey dude is a dispensationalist. He's a Darbyite, a Schofield Fringer, one of those literalists, a fundamentalist fanatic. Don't buy the book or it could happen to you virus. So what do I think? The Late Great Planet Earth was a great read, not because it was right on every point, but because it stuck its nose up at the critics and showed that biblical predictions actually apply to today. Now isn't that amazing? For Church Watch, this is Gordon Haddad.
The preceding was a paid advertisement.
If you're an avid DIYer or builder, it's a necessity to have the right tool for the job. Makita and Milwaukee Power Tools have more than 200 right tools for the job, all running on their own battery platforms. That means a battery from your Makita or Milwaukee drill will also fit the battery to your same brand circular saw, leaf blower, grinder, or any of the other 196 tools they make. At Angelus Millwork and Hartnagel's, we stock the largest selection of Makita and Milwaukee power tools in the area, and we'll back it up by matching any non-promotional advertised price. These are not the power tools of 10 or even 5 years ago. The technology has grown to allow for greater power, longer battery life, and greater versatility. If you haven't handled a power tool in a while, we invite you to come on in and try one out for yourself. Make your next project that much easier with a Makita or Milwaukee power tool from Angelus Millwork and Hartnagel's. Angelus Millwork and Hartnagel Building Supply. Building homes, building community since 1906.
Welcome to Volunteer Spotlight, sponsored by Jim Hagwood of PA Realty. This is Alan Barnard, and this Volunteer Spotlight shines on the American Red Cross of Clallam County. Since 1917, the Clallam County Red Cross volunteers have responded with compassion to the immediate needs of families affected by house fires, flooding, winter storms, and other human critical needs. The Red Cross of Clallam County helps families on the road to recovery with shelter, food, clothing, and connections with local agencies. If you wish to join the local Red Cross disaster team, you can complete the volunteer application form on the Red Cross website, redcross.org/volunteer, and make a real difference in our community. It's said that service is the rent we pay for our space on Earth, and that's why we present this Volunteer Spotlight, sponsored by Jim Hagwood at Port Angeles Realty.
10 minutes in front of 1 o'clock. Let's get a last look at Wall Street.
Newsradio KONP Business. This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Just ahead of the closing bell, the November rally for stocks taking a bit of a breather today after continuing jobless claims last week rose sharply and U.S. factory production declined. Right now, the Dow is down only about 0.25%. The Nasdaq and the S&P are pretty much flat. Shares of Walmart, though, down 8% after reporting a sharp drop in sales in the final 2 weeks of October, a pretty bad sign ahead of the holidays. The chain is also warning about deflation next year when prices start to drop sharply. Oil today closing under $73 a barrel, down about 5%. That's the lowest it's been since July as U.S. inventories remain high. And a lot of people hate it, so Apple is doing a 180. It's now planning to adopt a technology standard next year that'll allow text messages to smoothly operate between iPhones and Android devices. That means no more green bubbles when you text someone who doesn't have the same type of phone you do. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Let's get a last look at the noontime traffic next. Brought to you this time out by Olympic Medical Center and Leeds Farm Supply.
As leaves fall and temperatures drop, that means cold and flu season is here. But don't worry, the best defense is a good offense, and we have 2 ways to keep you healthy. First, regular hand washing can help keep cold and flu viruses at bay. Second, protect yourself and your loved ones by getting your flu shot. It's safe, it's effective, and it's your best bet against the flu. So, wash those hands, get a flu vaccine, and let's beat the cold and flu together. Brought to you by Olympic Medical Center.
Black Friday at Leeds Farm Supply is going to be huge. Here's a look at what you can expect. Get much more than you pay for with the Gravely ProTurn ZX 52-inch mower. It delivers great Gravely performance, making it a fantastic value. Its solid construction can handle the toughest commercial jobs and leave a beautifully manicured lawn behind. And on Black Friday, you'll get this power machine for just $86.99. That's $1,900 off. This is definitely a big return on a small investment situation. Shop Leeds Farm Supply in Sequim this Black Friday.
Newsradio KONP, traffic and roads.
At the Clallam Transit Dispatch Center now, that is where Steve's standing by with a last look at our noontime road and traffic conditions out there. Good afternoon, Steve.
Hi there. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, definitely a busy day out there in the Port Angeles Sequim area. A lot of traffic out there moving around. First Street, Front Street, Port Angeles, pretty busy. Little slowdowns at the lights and that kind of thing. So just be careful making your way around town. If you're headed to the downtown area also, down by Marine Drive, they do have some road work going on down there. So just be careful through that area. Also, base of the Elwha Hill, if you're out west, where they're putting in our new bridge. They are busy working down there. That'll cause you a little bit of slowdowns making your way through that area, so just be aware of that. If you're headed out east beyond Sequim, you'll find Hood Canal Bridge good to go currently, with no scheduled marine openings. Also, state ferries are running pretty close to on time, with the exception of the Edmonds run, with just the one boat. Expect some delays there waiting on the docks. So everybody, just take care, be safe out there, enjoy your afternoon. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit, KONP.
Thank you, Steve. Coming up next hour on the Todd Ortloff Show, first part, we're going to talk about Winterfest. It's coming right around the corner, and as you heard, there's going to be a full season of winter activities at Hurricane Ridge, which is great news. Here's a chance to really kick off the season with a really fun event that's happening Saturday here in Port Angeles. We'll get you up to speed on that. We're going to be talking with Samite about the latest program. That's what I'm trying to say at the Field Arts and Events Hall this weekend. Samite, a Ugandan musician and humanitarian, he's in to chat about his program Resilience, Samite Malundo, and we'll chat about that. And you might have a chance to pick up some passes to go see his show. And then we'll have our business guru, Kevin Holt, coming in. We'll talk a bit about a small business guide to inflation pricing. Plus, he's got some tidbits that I don't know if you're going to like. It's coming out of the state legislature that's going to affect your pocketbooks. That's all next hour here on the TO Show. All right, a little bit of history about Christmas lights. You may be putting them up these days with the holidays now upon us. Prior to the 1880s, Christmas trees were lit by candles. That did change with Thomas Edison, and he patented the light bulb. Then they hand-wired 80 red, white, and blue bulbs, strung them together around a tree in New York City, and created the first electric Christmas light display. Did you know that? An estimated 150 million light sets are sold in America each year. They light 80 million homes and consume 6% of the nation's electrical load each December.
The food industry is not your friend, especially when it feeds you propaganda and lies on social media. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. The FTC sent out more warnings this week to social media influencers. This time, they're working for both Coke and Pepsi's. The influencers, people with neither the knowledge nor the credentials to hand out health advice, were promoting artificial sweeteners and sugary foods to their 6 million followers on TikTok and Instagram. But they never mentioned that they're being paid to do so, and that's where they misled millions. People who positively react to a pitch to buy something will often have a totally different reaction if they know that the person recommending the product is being paid to do so. On social media, always ask, who is this person? And why are they recommending this product? Hey, get TechSmart the easy way. I'll do the work for you. Sign up for my free newsletter now at getkim.com. Dell's Black Friday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13 engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals, Dell.com/deals. Ghosting, defined as a friend not responding to a text, or worse, a lover. Or you just read someone's social media post, but you never hit follow. Don't be a ghoster. Wherever you hang out on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, go to my profile and follow me. My posts are the best. You're going to sound smarter. You're going to know the moment a data breach happens. So where you're laying in bed tonight scrolling through your social media, you'll find me everywhere at Kim Commando. Remember, it's not Kim Kardashian. It's me, the other, smaller Kim.
For what it's worth, I'm Derek Dennis. For some coffee lovers, it is the sign of the season, the Starbucks Red Cup. But this year, thousands of Starbucks baristas are staging a Red Cup rebellion.
To take away the profits for the company, to put pressure on them.
A strike to highlight what Daisy Federspiel-Bayer says are serious problems, low pay and chronic understaffing.
They told us they tried to staff the floor as much as possible, but baristas were incredibly stressed. Their mental health was declining, and we even sustained some physical injuries, which was not good.
She's a shift supervisor in Seattle.
I really wish that I could be in there serving you coffee. I do. But with the drastic understaffing and the toll that that takes on our baristas, unfortunately, we have to push for better, and we aren't getting that from Starbucks right now.
The company saying the union hasn't agreed to meet for months and is calling on the unionized workers to, quote, engage in the work of negotiating. For what it's worth, I'm Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ROCK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 42424. That's
gunning for the end zone. Has Jalen pulled? Touchdown!
Let purple reign.
Gets to the edge, the 10, the 5, the nail in the coffin!
This Saturday, UW heads to Corvallis for a matchup with the Oregon State Beavers.
He's coasting in, up the right sideline.
Kickoff is at 4:30.
A 92-yard touchdown pass.
Listen all season long on your home for Washington football. The Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
Gino steps up, waits, throws to the end zone. Oh, what a catch! DK Metcalf! Skies! Touchdown! Seahawks!
The Seahawks are back on the road for a divisional matchup with the Los Angeles Rams. Join Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman this Sunday. Pre-game at noon. Kickoff at 1:25. Right here on the Seahawks Radio Network.
Gino looks, going to lay it up over the top. Got a man out there. It is Lockett. He's got it! Touchdown! Seahawks!
The North Peninsula's news. The North Peninsula's talk. Newsradio KONP, Port Angeles, Sequim. a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Congressman George Santos facing new troubles after the release of the House Ethics Report. The embattled New York Republican already charged with 20 counts, including fraud and identity theft. The ethics panel finding, quote, substantial wrongdoing in how Santos obtained and used donor funds. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
They allege that Santos lied about loaning his campaign hundreds of thousands of dollars, took about $20,000 out of his campaign accounts, also used campaign money to pay off credit card bills that came from extravagant shopping sprees at Hermes, they allege, and Ferragamo, and hotel stays in Vegas to the tune of thousands of dollars as well. There's even a transaction on there that is, quote unquote, small transactions related to what investigators say were OnlyFans accounts.
Santos says he will not seek re-election next year and has maintained he's done nothing wrong. A day after one-on-one diplomatic talks with China's leader, President Biden addressing members at the APEC summit in San Francisco today. He highlighted expanding economic ties and investments with Asia-Pacific nations. And President Biden spoke about his talks with China's President Xi, saying they agreed to reopen military communications and continue talks.
Stable relationship between the world's two largest economies is not merely good for the two economies, but for the world. A stable relationship. It's good for everyone.
The man charged with breaking into former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's San Francisco home last year and attacking her husband has been convicted by a federal jury. David DePape was found guilty of assault and attempted kidnapping. He faces up to 50 years in prison. Israeli forces say they found a body of one of the hostages in a structure near the Al-Shifa medical complex in Gaza. IDF says she was a 65-year-old abducted by Hamas during the October 7th attacks. You're listening to ABC News.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Amazon says it took 7 different types of eye drops off their online store after a warning from the FDA. ABC's Ariel Reshef has details.
The FDA saying Amazon violated federal regulations by selling the drops, which were not recognized as safe or effective. The drops claim to help with a variety of eye issues. Experts say eye drops can pose a greater risk to the user because they're placed directly into your eyes, bypassing some of the body's natural defenses.
Hyundai says prospective buyers will soon be able to kick the tires online.
Hyundai and Amazon are partnering up. The companies say starting in January, the Korean automaker's full lineup of cars, SUVs, and one pickup truck will be available to buy on the online shopping platform. Shoppers can browse nearby inventory, pick out features and colors, and sort through financing options on Amazon. Vehicles will either be delivered to the buyer or made available at a local dealership. Hyundai says the program will start with 18 dealers to be followed by a broader rollout. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Kenya's parliament says it's approved the deployment of 1,000 police officers to Haiti to help deal with the rise in gang violence. The mission is backed by the UN. Burundi, Chad, Senegal, Jamaica, and Belize all have pledged troops for the multinational mission, which could cost Kenya more than $230 million. This is ABC News.
Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary. Attention all investors. The year is almost over and your chance to receive a 100% tax write-off for 2023. Why pay the government more of your hard-earned income while smart investors use proven strategies to reduce their payments to Uncle Sam? You can save thousands of dollars this year off of your taxable income with an investment in domestic energy, while at the same time generate potential income from oil for decades to come. Call Freedom Crude today at 800-549-1985. 800-549-1985.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Let's get ready for winter and the holidays with help from Airport Garden Center. So you made it through spring and summer with your mason bees, but now what to do during winter? Before the cold weather of winter sets in, join Airport Garden Center for their Mason Bee Winterizing class Saturday, November 18th. Get all the buzz with guest speaker Carrie Moreland from Knox Cellars Mason Bees on Saturday, November 18th. You'll learn all about how to winterize your bees. Purchase tickets now at airportgarden.biz. airportgarden.biz, where you can also get tickets now for an afternoon full of holiday cheer with the Wreaths and Wine Workshop, Saturday, December 10th. Get tickets now for the Mason Bee Winterizing class, November 18th, and Wreaths and Wine Workshop, December 10th at airportgarden.biz. Come enjoy a festive holiday season at Airport Garden Center, located west of Port Angeles on Edgewood Drive.
KONP News brought to you by RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. 457-6600. Wasn't easy, but after a year full of challenges, Olympic National Park officials announcing that Hurricane Ridge Road and recreation at the Ridge will open for a full winter season. They'll open up the day after Thanksgiving. A lot of work has gone into making it happen since the Day Lodge burned down back in May. Crews have installed a restroom trailer, visitor contact station, and connected them to utilities. Weather permitting, Hurricane Ridge Road will be open Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays through March 31st, beginning right after Thanksgiving.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon with highs around 46. Winds out of the east 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows around 37 tonight. A blend of clouds and sun tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 49. Chance for scattered showers Saturday and Sunday, 52 Saturday, 47 Sunday. I'm weatherology meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 47 degrees.
It's the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP. Now, here's Todd.
All right, welcome to the program. Lots to cover today. The first segment, we're going to be talking with Danielle Lawrence. She is the chair of Winterfest and does a lot of other things related to what's going on at Hurricane Ridge. But Winterfest is the big event that's coming up this weekend. And if you've never been to this event, it's really just a fun kickoff to, I think, the holiday season and the winter season and all of that as well. So Danielle joins us for a bit here. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much, Todd.
So this is the big event. Tell the folks who've never heard about Winterfest what this is all about. And it really is a fundraiser to help pay for doing things like having skiing and such up at Hurricane Ridge.
That's right. This is the biggest fundraising event that the Winter Sports Education Foundation hosts every year. It consists of live auction, silent auction, dinner by Coco Helly Grill, dessert, an oyster bar, country air appetizers. We've got a ton of different silent auction items that run from snow apparel provided by Eddie Bauer, a solo stove, ski poles that were handmade by someone locally, all sorts of great things. And then there's a fabulous lineup of live auction items that include trips, along with a beautiful copper spur tent from Brown's Outdoor. So it's really a great opportunity to pick up some things. If you missed the gear swap that was on November 4th, you can now purchase some fabulous new items at a discount while you're supporting one of the best nonprofit organizations in town.
Let's talk about what you do with the nonprofit up there. We do, people may hear about the Hurricane Ridge Winter Sports Education Foundation, but they don't really know exactly what this money goes for. Tell us about it.
Sure. So we offer several different educational programs. They include 4th, 5th Ski for Free. This includes lift tickets that allow 4th and 5th graders to come up for free. We also have a limited number of free 3-week lesson program or lesson passes that we give out to kids. So you can sign up for those through hurricaneridge.com. We also provide scholarships for underprivileged youth that would like to participate in learning how to ski or on our ski team.
You also do some capital improvements up there as well, like things like making sure that rope tows work and such like that so you can actually do the skiing.
Exactly. Yes. We make sure that all the equipment is running smoothly, that we have all the things for volunteer ski patrol so that they can do their job, and just make sure that it's a safe, fun area for everyone to be able to use in the winter.
How many years has Winterfest been happening?
Over 20.
Yeah, it's been a while, yeah.
It has definitely been a while. I think the first one was held at a cabin at Lake Sutherland, and then there was a time when one of the Mayer brothers came over.
I remember that
and
one, yeah.
that was at Chestnut Cottage. And if you ask Renee, you might actually be able to see the Gladfelters sitting in a booth with that Mayer brother.
I remember that. That was a celebrities in town night.
Yes, it was.
So now you're over at the Vern Burton. You have it all decorated up, and it's a fun event. I mean, it really is meant to be. I'm not going to call it a gala. It really is just a nice night out.
It is a great night out. Our ticket prices are quite low. It's only $75 a head.
And that gets you the dinner. That gets you everything that we're talking
Absolutely.
about. Yeah.
Yes. And you can go in your jeans and a trucker hat. It is not
exactly.
It is not a formal affair at all.
What I love it's a nice mix of folks. I mean, it's a cross section of our community that shows up for this, and I think that just illustrates the importance of access to Hurricane Ridge and the skiing that happens up there.
Yes, and we have plenty of seats left. So please go online to hurricaneridge.com, or you can email me at info@hurricaneridge.com as well if you're having any trouble with tickets.
All right. And you can get tickets, you said, basically through tomorrow, essentially.
Yes, you can get tickets in advance for $75 a piece up through tomorrow evening. And then you can also purchase tickets at the door for $90.
Okay.
And you can also purchase a table that seats 8 for $600.
Okay, so if you want to gather the whole clan together, you can all have your own spot.
Absolutely.
Very good. Before we let you go, just a bit of your reaction. You know, the news is out now that, the Park Service did it, and you're going to have a full season, weather permitting. It's always weather permitting, right?
Yes.
Up there. I think, if you were to go back a couple of months ago, there was a lot of wringing of hands as to will there be the ability to have anything happen up there for the winter. So you got to be pretty happy at that news.
We are ecstatic. We're very excited. I know that the Olympic National Park has put in a tremendous amount of effort in order to make this happen, and we are so appreciative of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Won't be quite like it is or will be down the road, so be a little more rugged opportunity for skiing up there this year.
Yes. Well, one of the things that I always say is Hurricane Ridge is not latte skiing. You will earn every turn.
That's a great way to put it. All right, let's get people out there, raise a whole bunch of money. How much do you usually raise at this event?
Last year we raised more than $70,000.
Okay, not bad for a night's work, right? Well,
Yeah.
Let's get more than that this year.
Yeah.
All right.
If we could hit 80, that'd be great.
Perfect.
Make it happen.
The way to do it is to get your tickets now, get a whole bunch of people together, get a table, and Saturday night, should tell folks the doors open at 5 and things get rolling at 6 at the Vern Burton. Music, great food, great dessert, great company. It's just a fun time out, and they'll get you home in time to go to bed.
That's right.
Right. Not a late night, but a long enough night. Danielle, thanks for coming down. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
All right, Danielle Lawrence there. She's Winterfest chair. And yes, go to hurricaneridge.com. You can still get tickets there right up through tomorrow to go to Winterfest. And if you can make it, do make it. It is a pretty fun event. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP.
Red Carpet Car Wash in Carlsberg is always adding to the list of things they provide to keep your vehicle looking brand new. The full detail shop is just one more service to check off that list. Not only will your interior and exterior shine, your engine will sparkle too. Red Carpet is also getting some winter upgrades, including new equipment in the manual bay and new vacuums. Call Kyle today and let him get you scheduled for your red carpet treatment Tuesday through Saturday. 360-461-0826.
The 2024 KONP Home Show is back. We are now accepting vendor applications for the largest two-day marketing event on the peninsula. Put your business in the middle of thousands of potential clients. Booths start at just $450. The KONP Home Show will be Saturday and Sunday, March 9th and 10th, 2024. Sign up now for best locations and to lock in the lower rates. Call 360-457-1450 and get your space for the 39th annual KONP Home Show.
The Clallam Co-op in Sequim and KONP Radio want to give you a chance to see Blake Shelton live on his Back to the Honky Tonk Tour. Blake will be at the Tacoma Dome Friday, March 15th, and Clallam Co-op is the only place you can enter to win 2 tickets to see him. 2 lucky winners will each win 2 tickets to see Blake Shelton live. But remember, the Clallam Co-op in Sequim is the only place you can enter. Enter every day. Drawing will be held Friday, December 1st. So enter today. The Back to the Honky Tonk Tour is presented by Kubota.
Hey Herbie, has the Kiwanis Club gone nuts?
Yes, we have. It's the Kiwanis Nuts fundraiser, on sale now for your holiday gift giving.
This is Kevin and Herbie from the Kiwanis Noon Club, inviting you to join us in Going Nuts.
These are the same great nut products you've come to love, offering both mixed nuts, including almonds, cashews, pecans, Brazil nuts, and pistachios, all delicately roasted and lightly seasoned with sea salt.
Or choose the Holiday Tin, Delicious Delights, a 7-way assortment of chocolate-covered nuts or other tasty items.
All profits from nut sales will go to the many Kiwanis community service projects, such as back-to-school supplies and college scholarships for high school students.
Get your Kiwanis nuts now at Jim's Pharmacy, Thurman's Supply, and on Friday, November 17, the Kiwanis members will be doing on-site sales at Swain's General Store. See you at Swain's Friday afternoon, November 17. And let's go nuts!
Would you like a beautiful new bathroom for the holidays? Hi, I'm Ursula Royteen for locally owned Bath Fitter. Bath Fitter just transformed my bathroom, and they can do the same for you in as little as 1 day. Get a new bathtub, safe walk-in shower, or tub-to-shower conversion now and pay 0 interest and make 0 payments until 2025. For nearly 40 years, Bath Fitter Northwest has done 40,000 local remodels. Hurry and book now and have a gorgeous new bathroom for the holidays. Go to bathfitternw.com.
All right, welcome back to the program. I'm going to spend the next bit of the show talking about an opportunity for you to get an experience that you normally wouldn't get in little old Port Angeles, and that is a show coming to Field Arts and Events Hall on Saturday. Samete Malondo is going to be here. He has quite a backstory. He is from Uganda and is a musician, as an actor, is a humanitarian. He's a lot of things, and he's also in the studio with me right now. And Samete, thanks for coming in. It's great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Where were you before you got to Port Angeles, might I ask?
I was actually in New York.
Okay.
Yes.
So, cross country.
Cross country. Yeah. Definitely, yes.
So, tell us about your story, because you have a fascinating backstory that has led you to this career of yours.
Yes. Well, I grew up in Uganda during a time of crazy dictator, Idi Amin, and so many bad things happened. And then I became a refugee in Kenya. And then I moved to New York, and then I ended up in upstate New York, Ithaca, New York.
All right.
Yes.
How many years have you been in New York now?
I came since 1987.
Okay, so
a long time.
You get back much to Uganda?
I do to many different African countries. I'm a director of an organization, Musicians for World Harmony. So it takes music into war-torn places to help people in the healing process.
So that's a lot. The reason I asked that is a lot of what your show is about. That people will come in and hear. And not only are you going to get some really unique music but you're going to get some perspective of maybe something us, here in the West we don't really understand directly.
Yes, you get. I take you through some of my journeys. I meet a lot of amazing people when I go to share my music, and some of those stories will include some of those people I've met. And then my own story.
Right.
Yes.
So tell us about your music. Is it purely Ugandan? Is this are you inspired by what you grew up with and you've made it your own? Tell us a bit about that.
Totally. I'm inspired a lot. Some of my music comes through my dreams, and but I'm also inspired by the people I meet all along the way. I've lived in Kenya. I visited Liberia. All those places I go, people share their music with me, so it influences me. And also here, I meet a lot of jazz musicians and classical musicians, so all of it influences me.
This crazy life of yours. I mean, you probably never thought that you would be doing this way back when Idi Amin was in your life, basically.
No, I had no idea this is what I'd be doing. But I think along the way, because of me being in the refugee camp, when I left Uganda, it changed the way I looked at life. It changed. I realized that when you're a refugee, it doesn't matter whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, you're just a refugee trying to survive. So it changed the way I looked at people who are struggling.
For those of us here in the West, I mean, what's the message you give us? Because as I alluded to, I don't think we fully understand what it was like for you. I mean, in your family, people in your country being in a refugee camp, dealing with what you were dealing with.
I think the one thing people need to know, it can happen to you. I think that's all I can say. It can happen to anybody, because when it happens, people always get surprised.
Yeah.
Because Uganda was, it's the pearl of Africa. It was the most beautiful country. It is still beautiful, but the politics can be shaky sometimes.
Right.
Yes.
Good point. Yeah. None of us are fully safe.
No, not totally.
Yeah.
Things can flip in a minute, and you're surprised.
So about your show, take us through a bit of what people can expect when they come to see you.
So there will be a lot of stories. There will be a lot of music. I play a lot of traditional, beautiful instruments. I play flute, and so it is up and down, but it just makes people feel like I can do this. It helps people to feel like whatever they are struggling with, they can deal with it. It's a positive show.
African music in general is, I'll just call it, it's very colorful. I mean, it has lots of rhythm, lots of different sounds, I think, than what we're used to. Why is that? Is it more, I think maybe it's because it's more of a storytelling type of music than maybe
the thing is actually, I mean, most people think it's just going to be rhythm, but there are melodies. There's, especially where I come from, we have melodies that are sweet, inspired by birds. So you get sounds from the forest, beautiful sounds and colors from the forest, and that comes through the music.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah, it'd be delightful to hear.
Yes.
And you have brought an instrument. You're going to play a little bit, so
hopefully you'll be able to hear it. It's a kalimba, thumb piano.
Yep. And some people may be familiar with this. This is much bigger than the toy one you find in a music store here in the West. This is the real deal. So
you want to hear a little bit?
Yeah, let's play a little.
Sawa yote natuka, sawa yoyo kutangala. Something like
beautiful.
that.
Absolutely beautiful. The sound you're getting out of that is just amazing. Yes. I love that. Very nice. There's a little sample for you.
Yes.
There's be much, much more when you come to the show.
Much more, yes. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite instrument that you tend to really enjoy playing more than another?
Yes, the flute.
Okay. And now, is this a standard type of flute like we're used to?
I play all kinds
of,
kinds of flutes.
Yeah.
I play the alto flute, which is a big flute. And I play, the normal C flute, and I play a lot of different African flutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you self-taught? I mean, how does this work with when you have these ethnic type of instruments? Mm-hmm. Was this handed down to you in some ways?
When I was a little kid, I went to the king's palace, and the king always had musicians entertaining him. So I picked up a lot of things from there. And I didn't realize I'd learned so much until I became a refugee. Then I would ask people, bring me this instrument, bring me this instrument. Then I came up with my own style of playing that instrument.
That's just amazing. Well, just that sample alone ought to get some people to come see you.
I hope so.
So you have two performances on Saturday. You've got a matinee at 2, I believe it's 2 p.m.
Yes.
And then you have a night one as well. Is that 7 o'clock, I believe? Or
I think it's 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Still tickets available. Go to Field Arts and Events Hall website. You can get tickets there. And but I'm going to give folks a chance to win some of matinee passes. I've got 3 sets of 2. So I got 6 passes here. We'll do them in sets of 2, and we're going to have people text in. So text us the word music. Text music to our studio text main line at 360-457-1450, and we will select from those that we get in the next half hour or so. And 3 winners will get a couple of passes each to see Samite and great music. and wonderful stories and a lot of rich history. I would imagine you walk away from this, we learn a lot about Africa.
Totally.
Yeah.
And inspired. Yeah. You'll be inspired.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, you have a lovely personality, and you just kind of beam warmthness for folks, and I hope people come and kind of encounter that and get to see it in person.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. I know you're busy, so we'll let you get on your way and get ready for the show. And we'll remind folks, if you'd like to go on us, just text us the word music to 360-457-1450. I'll set you up to see Samite, and it's called Resilience is the name of his play, his show that he'll be doing at Field Arts, and this is for the Saturday afternoon program as well. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Stick around.
This is Jonathan Pasternak, Artistic Director of the Port Angeles Symphony. Join me and 65 of our community's finest musicians for the Symphony's annual holiday concert, Saturday, December 9th at the Port Angeles Performing Arts Center. Come experience the thrill of live orchestral music while enjoying festive and seasonal selections, plus the return of our Christmas Carol sing-along. Our special guest artist will be guitar virtuoso Colin Davin, performing Joaquin Rodrigo's Fantasía para un Gentilhombre. Our holiday concert on Saturday, December 9th is the Port Angeles Symphony's most popular concert of the year, so don't miss out. Get your tickets today online at portangelessymphony.org, by phone at 457-5579, or in person at Port Book and News in downtown Port Angeles. See you at the Symphony.
Hello. This is Amanda Huff with Swim Valley and Harper Ridgeview Funeral Chapels. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about a new, exciting, and environmentally friendly development in the funeral industry. It's called natural organic reduction, or simply terramation. Perhaps you've heard of it. Terramation is a process in which the body, after death, is returned to the earth in a carbon-neutral, eco-friendly manner. The process takes place in a controlled environment, and all that remains is a natural, odorless, compost-like material. If you'd like more information about terramation and advanced planning, call us today at Harper Ridgeview in Port Angeles or Swim Valley Chapel in Swim, and one of our knowledgeable and caring funeral professionals will assist you in answering your questions. Harper Ridgeview and Swim Valley Funeral Chapels, because your loved ones deserve the best.
All right, if you'd like to see Samite in his Resilience play, great music, and learn a lot about what has happened in Uganda and through his life, I still have tickets to give away. If you'd like to go Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock, doors open at 1:30 at Field Arts and Events Hall, and tickets are still available if you go to their website if you'd like to purchase them for the Saturday night program. But if you'd like to go on us, I've got 3 sets of 2 tickets to the 2 p.m. Samite Resilience show. You just text the word music. Just text me the word music at 360-457-1450, and we'll set you up. We'll draw from those winners, those entries here in a little bit, and you could be on your way to see on us a great show at Field Arts and Events Hall in PA on Saturday afternoon.
EC on the Coho to see the magic of Christmas at the Butch Art Gardens. Stroll through the 12 days of Christmas displays with nearly 1 million twinkling lights from December 1st through the 31st. Overnight packages from $169 USD per person, based on double occupancy. Packages include ferry fare, a hotel stay in Victoria, and admission and shuttle to the Butch Art Gardens. What a great gift for a loved one or yourself. Learn more at cohoferry.com.
The Washington State News Network, I'm Rob Francis. The Employment Security Department revealed 7,900 jobs were added in October, and the unemployment rate ticked up to 3.8%. The biggest gains were at private schools, health services, local government, and retail. Information technologies and the financial sector shed the most losses. Over the 12 months, the state's labor force increased by 41,000, with 36,000 of those jobs in the Seattle, Bellevue, and Everett regions. State Patrol searching for a missing and endangered 21-year-old woman from Wenatchee. Shahir Harrison left a note, according to her family, saying that she was moving out. She took her identification, she took her clothes, she left her phone behind before getting into an unknown vehicle. Shahira is 4 feet 11 inches, 100 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a black coat, black Nike shorts, and Doc Marten boots. The vehicle was described as similar to a 2023 Toyota Highlander and white in color. And one person is dead, 6 others injured, following a head-on crash on US 12. The Washington State Patrol says the crash, which happened Monday between Walla Walla and Pasco, was caused by a van trying to pass another vehicle on a 2-lane stretch of highway. The van struck a pickup truck head-on. An investigation into the crash is ongoing. For more on these stories and others, download the WSNN mobile app or visit our website, WashingtonStateNews.net.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I taught for 20 years, until I started forgetting my lectures.
Eventually, he had to quit. Getting his early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard, but it gave us time to take control of the situation, together.
I can't imagine going through this without him.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
All right, still taking texts for the next few minutes. If you'd like to get into our drawing for a couple of passages, see Semite Resilience, great Ugandan music and a great backstory as well. That'll be Saturday afternoon at Field Arts and Events Hall. Just text me the word right now, music. Text the word music to 360-457-1450, and a little bit later in the hour I'll draw from all those, and 3 of our entries will win a pair of passes to go see the show Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock at Field Arts and Events Hall.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon with highs around 46. Winds out of the east 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows around 37 tonight. A blend of clouds and sun tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 49. Chance for scattered showers Saturday and Sunday, 52 Saturday, 47 Sunday. I'm weatherology meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 47 degrees.
Okay, it is Thursday afternoon in our last segment. As well, usual, I can't say always, but usually it is Kevin Holt, our business guru. We bring you business bits. And as I always like to say, it's not just about you owning a business. It's a lot of it. But if you even go into a business,
that's right,
some of this will affect you too. So,
it will.
Kevin, it's great to have you back.
Thank you. Great to be here, as always.
We're going to get in a bit into pricing in inflation, inflation pricing, which you warned us is... may expand into a two-parter here.
We might have to go two shows with this. It's pretty thick.
Okay, but first let's get everybody feeling really good about themselves. You want to ruin our lunch.
It seems to be what I do. Yes, just come in here and say, by the way, you just had a great lunch, taking a little break, getting ready to take on the afternoon, and then this. So actually, this is one I never heard about during the legislative session this year. And I find that surprising because so many other situations came to the forefront in the news. But starting January 1st, 2024, Washington State Senate Bill 5123 will restrict employers when making hiring and discipline decisions. It turns out that positive results on pre-employment cannabis drug tests or known off-duty use of cannabis can no longer justify adverse or disciplinary actions against employees.
So I can fail my drug test with marijuana,
yes,
and not lose my job.
That is not a discipline action issue.
Wow.
Well, you know, when the state's in the business, you wonder if they might not be protecting their tax collections. That, like I say, the most surprising thing to me was that I didn't hear a peep about this.
Yeah, that's very interesting because It's a big deal.
Kind of.
There's a lot of industries that are very, tied to that clean drug test
Absolutely.
thing, right?
And there are industries right here in Clallam County who are federal contractors.
Yeah, and that's a whole set of rules.
That is,
right?
That's a whole new bunch of confusion to throw into the situation, and to go all the way back to 2012, when the first cannabis legislation was passed. There was a common thread, and this was something I was dealing with because we were teaching employers how to deal with this, and they would ask us, "Well, is this carte blanche?" No, we said we were taught by the State Department of Liquor and Cannabis Control to say, well, no, this is just like alcohol or tobacco. You can ban alcohol. You can ban tobacco. You can refuse to hire somebody because they're a cigarette smoker. You can ban the consumption of alcohol. You can regulate your employees' behavior, and cannabis is exactly the same, except when it's not.
Now it's not.
It has just been exempted. That's a very strange set of legislation.
I think you're onto something about the tax dollar part of it, though.
It kind of touches a nerve there.
Right.
You know, what was that old Sopranos quote? We're running a business here.
All right. Well, there's one.
Yes.
You got another one, I know.
Well, we are in severely inflationary times. And so we always want to be on the lookout for things that make it worse. And so, we've talked about greedflation, where companies are raising prices just because they can. Well, January 1st, 2024, our new Department of Labor and Industries wage schedules come into effect. Most people know by now that minimum wage is up. It'll be up 3%, $16.28 statewide. And there are a lot of municipalities who have broken that down even more. And I was disappointed to see that some municipalities have literally balkanized the whole process by creating classes of employers. So I believe it is either Tacoma or Tukwila who has now segregated industries into large, medium, and small. And they also charge or require different minimum wages if you're in a hospitality business or a heavy industry business. And you say to yourself, well, let's say you have a small business that's touching all of these industries. What wage do you pay? Well, of course, they'd say the highest one.
Biggest one. Yeah, right. The top.
But this is going to be more and more of a challenge. And then on top of that, and this was a much bigger jump than we've seen in the past, but as we know, the state has been moving the salary required to be exempt from overtime up and up and up. Mm-hmm. This year, it jumps $10,000 a year, from $57,300 to $67,800, or about $32.60 an hour. So that's an increase of 18% over last year. Salaried employees paid less will no longer be exempt from overtime.
So starting next year, if you make less than $67,800 and you're salaried, then you are not exempt. You get overtime.
You get overtime. It's legalese backwards talk. You are not exempt from overtime.
Right, yeah.
and
your employer has to pay you overtime. Yep. That's basically what it comes down to.
And the challenge there is record keeping. Okay, now you need a time clock or some other means of tracking your time.
We talked about that. That's one of the reasons people pay salaries.
It
is because, you know what? On day one, you might not work a full 8 hours, but on day two, you might work 10.
That's right. And, of course, once again, what's good for the goose doesn't seem to be good for the gander. In many state agencies, senior managers, a 5-hour day is considered a full day. Mm-hmm. And so there's all kinds of different rules for different classes of people. It's kind of getting to be like India here in the caste system.
Everyone's being balkanized at this point.
They
basically.
are.
I think this is just an example of forced wage creep.
Yep.
Because the solution to that is anybody's, well, I guess my middle management guy who was making $55,000 is going to need to make $68,000.
I can't deal with the complexity, so
I'm going to just give him a $10,000 a year raise, basically.
Now, if I had 3, I might lay off one and add all their duties to those other 2 because I'm giving them a great raise.
That's true too. So and so you be careful what you ask for.
That's right.
Because sometimes you'll go to the local fast food restaurant and there won't be a human to take your order anymore.
Well, I think you can pretty much count on that. And other circumstances are evolving too. And here we're just going through this process in the North Olympic Peninsula where we really want to build tourism. We want to make it a year-round venture, and it should be. I certainly was a tourist here in the 60s and 70s year-round. In fact, Thanksgiving was my family's favorite holiday to come out here because the beachcombing was so good with the winter storms. So it's great, but what do you do with tourists who come here and our restaurants are struggling because of labor costs and shortages? Our venues have to be very careful about what they do because, again, of these overhead costs. How do you build up the infrastructure, to make this a beautiful place to visit when the costs are so excruciating? So we'll see how we work our way through that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now,
All right.
statewide, how are firms responding? Well, we have reported this previously, and it continues. Firms are leaving the great state of Washington rather than stay and suffer this flurry of what they probably feel are regulatory assaults. According to the Employment Security's WARN notices, this is the early warning system for large layoffs, more than 40 companies took over 5,000 jobs and left the state permanently in 2023 so far. And that does not include the 2,000 people who lost their jobs from the Yellow and David's Bridal layoffs, because those are national bankruptcies. I'm not going to count this in this. That also doesn't include the Walmart layoffs and the Microsoft layoffs, because those companies, in the case of Microsoft, they're hiring just as many people as they're laying off. And in the case of Walmart, the layoffs are because they closed an old store and opened a new one. So those people will just be working at a different Walmart. But these are real jobs. We've been losing 5,000 to 8,000 a year ever since our minimum wage mandatory increases came through. Right. So, right now we're short on employees and nobody's too worried about it. But, they call it an economic cycle for a reason. And the time will come when we aren't short of employees and we need employment. And I don't know where that's going to come from.
Okay. That's a lot of jobs to go, though. I mean, seriously.
It's an astounding number.
Those are just the big numbers. I mean, those are just the bigger companies. If you've got a smaller mom and pop sort of thing, you're not going to show up in that WARN notice.
No. And
I know there's a lot of those that have moved out of the area.
There are, and especially when you look at the collateral damage of a big, for example, there was a big assembly plant in Yakima that built office furniture. And they had suppliers, they had vendors, they had service providers. When they and their employees bought lunches and coffees.
Oh yeah, I mean it's more than just the job that goes away. Yeah,
any economist will tell you about those collateral jobs and those other issues. So it's devastating, and we have a legislature that just seems to be tone deaf when it comes to managing these. So our big question today, with all these changes, how can the remaining businesses cope with these inflationary, as in wages, costs? And so today's show really got its start from a listener question. It came in a couple of weeks ago. My costs are going up, but so is customer resistance to price increases. What can I do? So I've kind of come up with an answer. We'll try to get through some of it today, but it's a little bit thick, so we'll have something to talk about after the holiday.
So I tell you what, why don't we hold on?
Yes.
We'll dive in it. Let's take a break.
Perfect.
And then we'll have a whole segment we can dive into this thing, see how far we go.
Blub, blub. Thank you.
All right. We'll come back with more with Kevin Holt. We'll see if we can give you some direction as to how to deal with inflationary pricing and all that is affecting businesses and consumers these days out there, not just here, but across the country, when we return.
Red Carpet Car Wash in Carlsberg is always adding to the list of things they provide to keep your vehicle looking brand new. The full detail shop is just one more service to check off that list. Not only will your interior and exterior shine, your engine will sparkle too. Red Carpet is also getting some winter upgrades, including new equipment in the manual bay and new vacuums. Call Kyle today and let him get you scheduled for your red carpet treatment Tuesday through Saturday. 360-461-0826.
At Foghorn Olive Oil, we've got a lot more to offer. In addition to our olive oils and balsamic vinegars, we've added a fantastic selection of Washington State wines and beers, as well as fabulous salads, delicious paninis, and delectable dips. Join us where great flavors and good times come together. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 12 to 4, and Thursdays through Saturdays, 12 to 7. Foghorn Olive Oil and Wine Bar, where great flavors and good times come together.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub. Our holiday finance event is the perfect time to invest in your health and wellness with a hot spring spa. Enjoy terrific massage and saltwater therapy every day. Purchase by November 21st, and you'll get interest-free financing till 2027. The ultimate gift, a hot spring spa, is waiting for you during our holiday finance event. More at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Stick out your tongue and say, ah, it's the craziest thing you ever saw. Here at Olympic Game Farm, they say howdy with a wave of a paw. Now it's hard to steer clear of the elk and the deer when they pop in to say hello. They've got lions and tigers and bears. Don't forget about the buffalo. It's impossible to stay calm. So come out with your dad and your mom. Canine and feline, you'll find us online at onlygamefarm.com.
Something astounding awaits you at McCrory Carpet One in Sequim, Port Angeles, and Port Hadlock. All McCrory Carpet One showrooms have been remodeled, revamped, reorganized, and are even better and more luxurious than before. Bigger displays, more options, updated styles, colors, and trends. McCrory Carpet One is the #1 place on the peninsula for any and all of your flooring needs. Check out their beautiful new showrooms in Sequim, Port Angeles, and Port Hadlock.
We are back with our Business Bits segment, and our business guru, Kevin Holt, is here. And just a reminder, Kevin posts up his show notes and videos and all sorts of stuff at his website, kevinyourbusinesscoach.com. So if you miss anything that we're talking about, you can go there and get caught up.
You sure can. And, just for fun, I've talked about the books that I often recommend, the 3 books that are very popular. I don't think we've mentioned the third one too much, but Hermetisms, of course, that just talks a lot about the experiences people have with small businesses that aren't good. The E-Myth Revisited, the famous book about dividing the dividing line between entrepreneurs and everybody else. And then one called The $100 Startup, which is just a fun little read about side hustles and very small business starts that a lot of my clients have really enjoyed. There's links to those right on the website.
There you go.
And there's also links to some old books on the Internet Archive that are very illustrating. One is a very old book about how to write business letters. And the one thing that has not changed in our world is the people in it. And this book really addresses talking to people in an effective way. Also, the famous book about the American clock business in the 1800s. It was our first tech crash. We had an industry here of making our own clocks, and there was a lot of investment and a lot of money loss, and it's very exciting. So anyway, lots of fun stuff there.
Very cool. All right, so let's get into a bit of how we help our way through inflation pricing.
We've got to use some strategies that help us manage our customer perception of our business. And I'm going to use the famous Steve Jobs, who really learned a lot of these lessons himself and taught us those lessons in how you can move your business forward when your costs get really, really high. I mean, Apple's challenge was they had a kind of a product that they wanted to sell that was very, very expensive. And so they developed ways of helping people work through that expense by giving them other benefits. So Steve Jobs used 4 strategies to be successful. He learned some hard lessons at Atari and then put those lessons to work at Apple. And I call them the 4 C's of managing a high-cost business process. We're going to build that up to 7 C's later because we've got 3 more C's that are up to the local businesses, but we'll start with Steve Jobs. So the first 3 are going to talk about costs. When Steve Jobs worked at Atari, he learned about costs. I think you could call Atari an inadvertent Ponzi scheme. Back in the late 70s and early 80s, they lost money on every sale, but they covered that up with meteoric growth. Right. And if anybody called them on it, they were like, hey, we were in search of excellence. Get off our backs. We're already documented awesome. But when the growth slowed down, Atari went poof, just quick, like a Ponzi scheme does. Yep. And so Jobs learned that you really got to fully understand your cost of doing business to remain sustainable. And remember, during his tenure at Apple, they sold both products and services like iTunes and AppleCare. So this really works for both product and service-oriented businesses. The second one Steve learned about is customers. All customers are created equal in the eyes of the law, but all customers are not created equal in the eyes of your business. Some are better for you than others. And businesses really need to understand their most important customers. These are the customers you can serve the most effectively. These are the customers who most value your core products. These are the customers who most want what you sell. And for Steve Jobs, it was the customers who'd line up in front of his stores 3 days before the products were out.
And buy the iPhone or the whatever
Even
it was.
I don't know if you remember, but when Atari new games would come out, people would line up for days. Yeah. So he really learned to find that hot spot with the customers and drive his products in there, because that's what keeps people focused on the experience rather than the price. The third C is craving. We talk about finding a need, pain, or gap in an attractive market. Jobs sum that up in one word: crave. What do they crave? Yes. What do your most important customers crave? So it's not anybody, it's those best customers for you. What do they want more than anything in the world? And what can you offer that craving that gives you an advantage over your competitors? How can responding to cravings help you with your pricing? And I'll pick on my poor wife. Her customers crave consistency and dependability. You know, you could say she doesn't really sell nail services. She sells trust, because when they make an appointment, that appointment is honored. When they ask for a service, they get the service they ask for. And I'll talk about this a little later, but this creates a mindset in a customer that economists call price elastic. You're so satisfied with what you're getting that you're not looking too closely at the price. There are, of course, boundaries on this, but still, it gives a business owner the ability to move a little closer to the costs that they're bearing, because their customers are focused on something besides just the dollars out the door. So the fourth C is the collection. What do you really sell? We just talked about that. What does a customer really buy? And how can you assemble a collection of product and service and price and messaging that effectively addresses what you really sell and what your customers really buy? It's a little bit woo-woo, so let's break it down a little bit with a very familiar name. What does faithful KONP advertiser Swain's really sell? Well, I would suggest Swain's sells confidence. I'm drawn to Swain's because I'm confident I can find convenient parking. It's not like a big box store where it's like, ooh, where's my car? It's really very convenient. I also am drawn to Swain's because I'm confident I can get what I need. They have deep inventory. I'm confident I can get help. In fact, there's a few fellas over there that won't let you look at the shelf without them helping you.
Yeah, I know. I know.
They're going to help you whether you want it or not. But that's very sweet the way that's done. And I'm confident I can get post-purchase concerns addressed. So how closely do I look at the numbers of the price I pay? Not as closely as if I wasn't getting those benefits. So how does all that confidence impact my buying decisions? Well, economists tell us that I'm experiencing something called a non-monetary price discount. Now, what the heck is that? Well, those same economists tell us that consumers really consider two prices when they make a purchase. The monetary price, of course, the money you hand over the counter, the money that comes out of your wallet. But the non-monetary price is the other burdens and benefits that you get in the transaction. Customers actually intuitively consider and balance these two prices to arrive at a final purchasing decision every time they buy anything.
So you're telling us it's not always dollars and cents.
It depends on the customer and the purchasing circumstances, but if you draw the right people to you, it won't be. You bet. Now, of course, when you're getting a bid on a new building on your house or something, you're going to be less elastic, but I'll tell you, you might not pick the lowest bid if you like a slightly higher bid better because of some perhaps non-monetary benefits there. The person's well known to your friends, or you've seen some of their other successful work. So a non-monetary priced cost includes things like inconvenience, risk of disappointment, or a long waiting time. So when I go to a big box store that advertises a low monetary price, I'll probably put up with a gigantic parking lot and no help in the store and a very unwelcoming environment and long lines because I'm saving that money. But if I'm not just thinking about that, I might be willing to open my mind to non-monetary price discounts if the purchase is extremely convenient. If there's a very low risk, like Amazon, send it back if you don't like it. Mm-hmm. If it's quickly delivered, Prime, 2-day sale, I will overlook that less attractive monetary price. And this is the key to helping your customers work with you when you have to raise prices. My favorite example, think about the last time you bought food at a drive-thru. When they pushed that meal through your window, did you dig through the bag to find the receipt?
No.
9 times out of 10, it's no. You don't really care because you got what you wanted, the way you wanted it, when you wanted it. Those pesky economists call this price elasticity. Your willingness to overlook monetary price if you get an adequate amount of non-monetary price discounts. It doesn't mean complete disregard for the price, but it definitely means that there's much more wiggle room for businesses looking to recoup some inflation-driven overhead expenses.
And maybe we'll put the pause there
that
before
is
you go
the
to the
perfect
next
place. Yep.
A lot of what there's the old saying: sell the sizzle and not the steak.
Exactly.
This is a little sell both, right?
Yep.
You put some sizzle with your steak, and people are gonna pay more than they might.
Are. You've got to have the steak, but the sizzle
what comes with it?
Yes, I mean just think of all of the purchases that you've made over the last year, and think of the ones where you didn't really look at the price.
Yep.
And what did you get instead? And so there's a model here that anybody can use. And when we come back after Thanksgiving, we will give you a very specific example of how you can do that in your own business.
All right. I like it. Tease people through Turkey Day.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm very excited about the holiday programming on KONP, and we get a break, and then
That's
we'll see you
the best
on
part
the 30th.
I like about
That's
it.
Right.
It's a break for us, but there you go. All right. Kevin, it's always good to have you. Thanks
you.
for coming in. We'll see you in a couple of Thursdays. We won't be here because it's Thanksgiving next Thursday,
that's
but in the meantime, go over to kevinyourbusinesscoach.com. You can get caught up with things there, and you can even send a message to Kevin.
You can.
And as you've heard on his segments, he has often used questions that he's gotten from our listeners.
I will answer your questions, but you might just be a great motivation for a show.
All right. Kevin, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with news coming up next at the top of the hour.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP.
This is Jonathan Pasternak, Artistic Director of the Port Angeles Symphony. Join me and 65 of our community's finest musicians for the Symphony's annual holiday concert, Saturday, December 9th at the Port Angeles Performing Arts Center. Come experience the thrill of live orchestral music while enjoying festive and seasonal selections, plus the return of our Christmas Carol sing-along. Our special guest artist will be guitar virtuoso Colin Davin, performing Joaquin Rodrigo's Fantasía para un Gentilhombre. Our holiday concert on Saturday, December 9th is the Port Angeles Symphony's most popular concert of the year, so don't miss out. Get your tickets today, online at portangelessymphony.org, by phone at 457-5579, or in person at Port Book and News in downtown Port Angeles. See you at the Symphony.
The Clallam Co-op in Sequim and KONP Radio want to give you a chance to see Blake Shelton live on his Back to the Honky Tonk Tour. Blake will be at the Tacoma Dome Friday, March 15th, and Clallam Co-op is the only place you can enter to win 2 tickets to see him. 2 lucky winners will each win 2 tickets to see Blake Shelton live. But remember, the Clallam Co-op in Sequim is the only place you can enter.
Enter every day.
Drawing will be held Friday, December 1st, so enter today. The Back to the Honky Tonk Tour is presented by Kubota.
Hey Herbie, has Aquinas Club gone nuts?
Yes, we have. It's the Kiwanis Nuts fundraiser on sale now for your holiday gift giving.
This is Kevin and Herbie from the Kiwanis Noon Club inviting you to join us in Going Nuts.
These are the same great nut products you've come to love, offering both mixed nuts including almonds, cashews, pecans, Brazil nuts, and pistachios, all delicately roasted and lightly seasoned with sea salt.
Or choose the Holiday Tin, Delicious Delights, a 7-way assortment of chocolate-covered nuts or other tasty items.
All profits from nut sales will go to the many Kiwanis community service projects, such as back-to-school supplies and college scholarships for high school students.
Get your Kiwanis nuts now at Jim's Pharmacy, Thurman's Supply, and on Friday, November 17, the Kiwanis members will be doing on-site sales at Swain's General Store. See you at Swain's Friday afternoon, November 17. And let's go nuts!
Would you like a beautiful new bathroom for the holidays? Hi, I'm Ursula Royteen for locally owned Bath Fitter. Bath Fitter just transformed my bathroom, and they can do the same for you in as little as 1 day. Get a new bathtub, safe walk-in shower, or tub-to-shower conversion now and pay 0 interest and make 0 payments until 2025. For nearly 40 years, Bath Fitter Northwest has done 40,000 local remodels. Hurry and book now and have a gorgeous new bathroom for the holidays. Go to bathfitternw.com.
Online at myclallamcounty.com.